Dear students, welcome to the course of Essence of Indian Traditional Knowledge. Today's topic Upangas. In our previous class, we have completed Vedangas, which are associated as limbs to protect the Vedic system. How the limbs of a human body protects the human system. Similarly, Vedangas protects the Vedic system. Now, Upangas forms the supplementary text for the Vedic literature. So, let us go into the details. After completion of this topic, you will be able to classify different types of Upangas and you will be able to illustrate the brief details of various Upangas. What is Upanga? Upangas refer to secondary or auxiliary texts in Vedic literature. These texts are meant to provide supplementary information or clarification on the main Vedic scriptures. Main Vedic scriptures are Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, and Atharva Veda. So, for these main Vedic scriptures, Upangas provide the supplementary information or clarification. Upangas are considered valuable source of knowledge and continue to be studied by scholars and practitioners of Vedic literature. So, continuous study or research by the scholars or practitioners of Vedic literature will be utilizing these Upangas as a valuable source of knowledge. The classification of Upangas is of four types. First one is Dharma Shastra, second one is Mimamsa, third one Tarka Shastra, fourth one Puranas. We will go into the brief details of one after the other. Dharma Shastra. The first Upanga. Dharma Shastras mainly focus on the four sutras which deal with the different aspects of life. These four sutras already we have seen in our previous topic under Vedangas. One of the Vedanga is Kalpa. As a part of Vedanga, we have seen to this literature of Dharma Shastra, the four sutras. But Kalpa as a Vedanga is a Smriti literature which is to be memorized, and whereas Upangas also comes under Smriti literature only. So the sutras of Dharma Shastra can be elaborated as it has been classified like this. First one is Griha Sutra, which deals with the domestic roles, rituals to be performed by an individual. Second one is Srauta Sutra, which deals with ritual manuals used by the priests to perform grandeur Vedic sacrifices. Third one is Sulva Sutra, which deal with the complex fire altars of various shapes constructed with bricks of specific shapes and areas. Dharma Sutra, which is of major importance. This gives the directions about our domestic, social, and religious lives. It has several manuals of human conduct. This is very important, which is very much required for the existence of human beings, human conduct. This is given by Dharma Sutra. Few more details on Dharma Shastra. One is Manusmriti and Code of Manu. What is meant by this one? Right from the age of Rig Veda, almost all authors of Dharma Shastra refer to the opinion of Manu, who is regarded as the first lawgiver. So, which deals with, now we should have understood Manusmriti or Code of Manu deals with law. Manu Dharma Shastra, the first and the most authoritative comprehensive law book. It is also called Manusmriti. Manusmriti considers legal maxims, certain religious, political, moral, economic, and metaphysical principles to provide a consistent justification for its social theory. So, always a law or code of conduct legally requires maxims, religious aspects, political aspects, moral aspects, economic details, metaphysical principles in order to arrive at a judgment or a justification. Few more details on Dharma Shastra includes one more Yajnavalkya Smriti. So, what is this Yajnavalkya Smriti? It deals with the legal aspects. So, what are those? This follows almost the same pattern as Manu in the treatment of subjects, but it is more scientific and more systematic compared to Manusmriti. So, this Yajnavalkya Smriti consists of 1010 verses divided into three chapters on matters such as women rights of inheritance, right to hold property, status of Sudras, criminal penalty, creation of valid documents, law of loan agreements, partnership and business ventures, civil and criminal law. See, almost the list that has been presented here, these are the regular terms we will be hearing in our daily day-to-day life. But most of us doesn't know their roots are into Vedic literature like Yajnavalkya Smriti, a part of Dharma Shastra. The last one under Dharma Shastra is Narada Smriti. So, what is this? Narada Smriti exclusively deals with forensic law. See here, Dharma Shastra deals with the law, whereas the principles are different. Whereas Yajnavalkya Smriti deals with the legal aspects which are listed, and now Narada Smriti also deals with the law that deals with the forensic law, both substantive and procedural, with any reference to self punishment and other religious matters comes under this Narada Smriti. The procedural law laid down by the Smriti contains provisions relating to pleading, evidence, whether that is oral or documentary, as also the procedure required to be adopted by the courts of law. The procedures required by the courts of law is also laid down in Narada Smriti. And this also contains three introductory chapters on the principles of judicial procedure and on judicial assembly that is being practiced. This also introduced some changes in the laws of Manu and Yajnavalkya. So the first three smritis, two smritis are there, no? So in those also, this one has made few changes, Narada Smriti. Then comes our next Upanga, that is Mimamsa. The Sanskrit word Mimamsa means revered thought, which deals with our thought process. The word is originated from the root man, which refers to thinking or investigating. The word Mimamsa suggests probing and acquiring knowledge or critical review and investigation of the Vedas. So, when we read to the Vedic literature or Vedic scriptures or Vedic texts, definitely we need to understand them in detail. So, in order to understand them in detail, we require the aspects of probing and acquiring the knowledge, critical review, and investigation on the Vedas. That is suggested by Mimamsa. The goal of Mimamsa is to provide enlightenment on dharma, which is understood as a set of ritual obligations. Dharma refers to set of ritual obligations. Since dharma cannot be known through either perception or reasoning, one must depend on revelation in the Vedas, which are considered eternal, authorless, and absolutely infallible. So, when we want to follow dharma that is proposed by Mimamsa as Upanga, that cannot be done by perception or reasoning something. that can, as that is eternal, authorless, and absolutely infallible. So that is only possible by revelation in the Vedas. Few details about Mimamsa. There are two parts of Mimamsa. One is Purva Mimamsa. It is based on earlier parts of the Vedas, and it is also known as Karma Mimamsa since it deals with the karmic actions of rituals and sacrifices. Whereas Uttara Mimamsa is the second part, deals with the later parts of the Vedas, and it is also known as Brahman Mimamsa since it is considered with the knowledge of reality. Purva Mimamsa is concerned with the actions of rituals and sacrifices. Uttara Mimamsa is concerned with the knowledge of reality. In popular terms, Purva Mimamsa is known as simply as Mimamsa, and whereas Uttara Mimamsa is known as Vedanta. As it deals with knowledge of reality, we call it as Vedanta. The next Mimamsa is Tarka Shastra, also known as Nyaya. The name itself indicates Tarka Shastra, with the Vedic name Nyaya, speaks the law of nature. It deals with logic and truth. This is a very known term, that is Nyaya, that is dealing with logic and truth. All systems of Indian philosophy begin with the problem of suffering, that is dukkha. The goal of this Tarka Shastra or Nyaya is to enable us to attain the highest goal of life, which is the liberation from dukkha, that is suffering, liberation from suffering, and the attendant cycle of birth and death, that is moksha, variously known as release or freedom or emancipation, or also known as nirvana, the state of non return to birth or death. So, this can be understood only with the help of the logic and truth, which is given by Tarka Shastra or Nyaya. According to Nyaya or Nyayikas, the world presents itself to us as a chain of consequences that needs to be broken in order to attain liberation from suffering. So, this is a very logical truth. When the chain of consequences are broken, then only we can attain the liberation from suffering. Few details about Tarka Shastra. The truth extraction process of Nyaya consists of three stages. First one is statement, second one is definition, last one is discussion. After making the statements and after defining them and then making a discussion, then only we can end up with truth extraction. The logical method of ascertaining the truth is through the application of 16 categories of logic, which are as follows. One is, first one, means of right knowledge, that is pramana, object of right knowledge, prameya, doubt, samsaya, motive, prayojana, illustrations, drishtanta, demonstrating the truth, siddhanta, factors of reasoning, syllogism or ayabhava, reasoning and confutation, that is tarka, discernment, nirnaya, discussion, vada, disputation, jalpa, cavil or objection, vidanda, fallacious reasoning, hetva bhasha, casuistry, unfair reasoning or chela, futile rejoinder, that is jati, clinchers, that is migrahasthana. These all are the 16 categories of logic in order to ascertain the logical method for extraction of the truth in in Tarka Shastra or Nyaya. Puranas is the last one of Upangas, the texts are part of Vedas, contains narratives about history of universe from the creation to destruction of kings, heroes, sages and deities. Some of the Puranas are discourses on cosmology, geography and philosophy. The most important are Mahapurana.